Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. My track guide for the FIA F4 going around Barber Motorsports Park, the full layout. We're in the fixed setup with a brake bias of 56%. Let's get into it. We start out on the right side of the track, being as close to the outside white line as we dare. Once we get to the one board here on the right, we start to brake and turn in. We don't have to brake that much. I go for about 25%, trailing it off all the way to the inside curb. Once I'm off the inside curb, I start to accelerate again. We want to get as close as we can to the outside white line without going over it into the grass. For turn 2, I brake at the end of the white line here on the left. Here I aim for about 60% brake pressure, and we're trailing that off until the top of the hill. My goal is to stay fairly close to the inside white line, and once I'm at the top of the hill, I start to accelerate again. We're slowly applying the throttle to make sure we can stay close to the white line. At some point there will be a bit of curbing on the inside, and we want to be full throttle once we get to that. We want to make sure we carry as much speed as possible, so get as close as you can to the outside white line before turning in for turn 4, getting as close to the inside curbing without hitting it, and now we're just staying on the right side of the track. If you get a bad exit out of turn 3, people will try and overtake you into turn 5. For turn 5, I brake halfway between the 1 board and the 2 board here on the right. I'm aiming for about 70% brake pressure, and I'm trailing that off until the first apex we do here. I do a little of a double apex, getting close into the first curb, dragging out just a little bit before getting into the second one. Just after the first apex, we want to start to apply the throttle again. Just make sure you're not too aggressive, as you can spin the car. The track is quite wide here, so we should utilize that to get as much speed as we can. If we get a bad exit out of turn 5, people will try and overtake you into turn 7. But when qualifying, stay on the left side of the track as close as we can to the white line. At the 1 board here, we want to turn in and we want to start to brake. Just as we turn in, I go to about 10%. After the inside curb of turn 7, I go to about 40%. After that, I let a little bit off the pressure once I clip the full curb of turn 8, so the car doesn't lock up too much. We want to get in close to the inside curb of turn 9, and once I'm off that curb, I'll start to accelerate again. All this going well, we should be able to stay within the white line and gain a decent amount of time. You can do it without aggressively taking the inside curb of turn 8, but I found this was usually faster. Turn 10 and 11 is flat out, just make sure you don't cut the curbs too much. If you get a bad exit out of turn 9, people will try and overtake you into turn 12. But when qualifying, stay on the right side of the track and turn in as we get to the 1 board here on the right. Just before we get to the inside curb of turn 12, we want to let off the throttle. I use a little bit of brake here, no more than 5%, quickly on and off it again, to make sure we get close into the inside curb of turn 13. Once I'm past the curb, I start to accelerate again. When we apply the throttle, we just need to make sure we don't slide the car too wide, because it's really easy to go into the grass on the outside. Cut all of the inside curb of turn 14, and I got out to just about mid-track for turn 15. I couldn't find a really good braking marker, so I used a hole in the fence here over on the right. I'm aiming for about 45% brake pressure, and I'm trailing it off until the outside curb starts. Then I'll let the car roll into the corner, getting close to the inside curb without hitting it. And as we get to the curb, we want to start to accelerate again. Just make sure you stay on the right side of the track, because if we do that, that will make turn 16 flat out. You can touch the inside curb of turn 16, just don't hit it too aggressively, and of course use the outside curb to maximize exit speed. That's my lap around Barber Motorsports Park, the full layout in the FIA F4, of a time of 1 minute 21.6. I have more track guides for the F4 linked down below. Hopefully you found this one useful. If you did, leave a like down below, consider subscribing as well. And now for the uninterrupted hot laps.